girl, MiChel Rose, and today we're going to be talking to Mr. Robin J. Anderson. What are we going to be talking about today?
Man, we're talking about life, liberty, and justice.
That's it. That's good enough for me. Stay tuned, guys. This is going to be a good one. It's your girl, MiChel Rose. Welcome to Iconix Radio. This is going to be an amazing show today. Today, we have Mr. Robin J. Anderson in the building, guys. Make some noise. Calm down. Mr. Rob, for short. Okay? Mr. Rob, how you feeling today?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
It's so good to have you today. A long time coming. So the first thing I wanna say is just thank you for all you've done in the community, just abroad, not just locally, but just out of the city and the states. You're just like amazing, and we're really gonna get into it today. So I hope you guys are ready because we're gonna learn some things today. Okay, so let's start off, Mr. Rob. Where are you from?
Born and raised in Houston.
Okay.
Houston, Texas. I grew up in a community called Hidden Valley, which basically like about 2.5 minutes outside of Acres home. You know what I mean? So grew up there from 1985 until 1998, and then I went to the Prairie View A&M.
Okay.
Shot to PV.
Come on, baby.
Yeah. So but that's where I'm from. Born and raised in Houston, though.
Nice. You have an extraordinary background. You have done a lot. And we're gonna get started with a little bit of your backstory more in depth. PV, let's talk about it. Because PV is the HBCU. I went to Blaine Junior College. Hey, y'all. And you know, PV is like right down the street.
Right.
So when we couldn't find nothing to do in the woods, we would go down to PV and we lived the real college life. Okay.
Shout out to Prairie View, man.
Yes.
I actually got to Prairie View on an accident because I actually applied to Grambling and FAMU, and so I didn't hear back from neither one of the colleges. So Prairie View hit me up. They sent me a letter, I think about roughly a week before school started.
Okay.
And I just got in by grace of God. You know what I mean? So by happenstance, yeah. So
thank God for the HBCUs.
Thank God for HBCUs.
And then Jay-Z and Beyonce, y'all keep holding us down. Like the money that they're investing it's all about building the community. It's all about making sure that we take care of our own. You know, no shade, but shade. And it feels good. I'm sure that was a relief to you and your family to say, man, a week before, you never know when that email or when that call is gonna come, and it came. So tell me, how did you feel to know a week before school started? Like, what was that like? Because it prepared you for some things.
No, it was nerve-wracking because, I really wasn't prepared to go to college, to be real with you.
Okay.
When I say prepared, I wasn't prepared as far as like study habits and things like that. But what Prairie View taught me was, I got down there, man, they had a lot of freedom. Mm-hmm. And
baby, come on.
And but I learned that you have to pace yourself, and you can have fun, but you gotta take care of business.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So that's what Prairie View taught me, that how to get out there and hustle and take care of business. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but just to experience everything. President Hines was there at the time. God rest his soul. So I saw the influx of the A&M money came in there, right? So we went from staying in dorms, and I think dorms were better because it was more of a social life. But then what happened when those apartments came in, things kind of started doing like this. Like you went from sharing a restroom with 5 other people to now you got your own restroom. So it just, the whole climate changed, you know what I mean?
Right.
But it changed for the better.
Right. I love that. So when you think about not being prepared for something, because every time we're crossing paths or every time I'm on Instagram and I'm just seeing, it's like you're prepared and you're in position. You put people in positions to do what they do, and then you prep them, right, to go out and do what they do. For example, I mean, I seen this with my own 2 eyes, and I was like, you know, I gotta put some music behind this. You were in the back of a Penske. You were in the back of a Penske truck, and it was food and it was water, and I was like, and then you turned around and I seen the words on your shirt, politically street, and I was like, this guy is so interesting. So that picture was monumental. Wow. And what I did was, because I think y'all have reposted it too on your story.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
It was Malcolm X.
Yeah, it was Malcolm X. Because, I mean, you give me that vibe every time you do. And looking at your Instagram, looking at, listening to your words, it's like how we were just talking a few minutes ago. It's like, you're on a mission. You on a real mission, and it's great to see. So let's talk about you merging these two words. So everybody get ready, because it's about to get real up in her. Politically street. You cannot put those words together and be right in average America. But in this America, we're making a difference. So political, let's talk about it. Politics.
Wow, so actually, let me get into it. So what happened with politics, I was taking a class at Prairie View, political science, by intro poli-sci. And there was a guy, his name was Dr. Mario Obadeli. He was a former Black Panther. And so he would tell us stories about how he was in shootouts with the police, and he did a stint in prison, and when he got out, he was he got his doctoral, and came back to Prairie View and taught it. So, long story short, he always said, well, no, Mr. Anderson, what are you going to do? I said, what you mean? He said, well, when you get this degree, what are you going to do? He said, are you going to just sit on it, or are you going to go back to your community? So, So, fast forward a few years, I stayed active in my community regardless, you know what I mean? And so, I always knew I was going to run for office. I just didn't know when. But then, really, his charge is what's fueling me to this day as being part of the community. You know what I mean? And so, but politics, to me, is very divisive in our community. You know, because like I was at a store about 3 months ago, probably 2 months ago, and I was putting my podcast. I gave Yolanda a card. She said, "Well, I'll subscribe if you're a Democrat." Oh, and she was young. She was like 19 years old. I was like, well, why does it matter what affiliation I am? You know what I mean? But I didn't say it. I didn't want to discourage it. For sure. You know, but being involved in politics, I've seen a lot. I volunteered on some campaigns from Mayor Sylvester Turner, Judon Boney. Shout out to Judon Boney, one of my mentors. Kimberly Willis, she ran for state rep. You know, so I've been engaged in it, but. Yeah. I've seen the good and not so good in it, you know. So I was like, you know what? I want to be a part of the good. Yeah. I want to be a part of the part where we're educating our community on why politics matters and how to get involved. You know what I mean? So that's my charge from Dr. Obadeli.
Wow. I think the biggest thing that stood out for me while you were talking is going back in the beginning when you were like, I was never ready to go to college. Right. It's like, what? And then you meet this amazing influence, right? And he sticks with you all those years after. So you never really know what your purpose is going to be until you meet the person that makes you pursue your purpose.
That's right.
I love that.
I agree.
So you got into politics. You decided to run, or
I did.
You ran.
I ran for city council.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, because you have the good, the bad. You have the good, the bad, and the ugly, as you said. But let's talk about the good, because you're here for a good reason, and you've merged politics and streets together. It's mind-boggling, but it puts me in the feel and the vibe of like a Trey the Truth. But he's moving, right? He's moving.
Yeah.
but you're here, but you still be everywhere. You still be everywhere. So let's talk about the street part, because you put in the work. The street part is really what I've seen you do. So talk about the street part, because we know the good part.
Right. You know, I think the street part was I guess embedded in me because of, like you mentioned Malcolm earlier, right?
Yes.
Malcolm X. So when I read his autobiography, you know, Malcolm X wasn't always Malcolm X. He was Red, Detroit Red.
Talk about it.
So he was in the streets, and so I was like, well, you know what? To me, what I noticed is that even though the streets have its own code, its own how everything moves, but still, it's even politics in streets. You know what I mean? And so, I figured, I said, you know what? To me, the streets are more powerful than what politics really is. You know what I mean? Because it's a whole. It's hard to explain. You know what I mean? So I knew I had to get the streets and be able to educate the streets on what politics is, and because when we educate the streets, then the game is over with. Period. You know what I mean? And so, so from all the ghettos, from like 790 to CUNY Homes to Garden City to Haverstock, if they had just an inkling of how powerful they are with just a vote, or even just coming together, unionizing what we do, it's a wrap. That's why it killed Malcolm. That's why it killed Moore.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
So,
Facts. I can't think of the movie right now, but it really it sits with me so heavily. I ain't gonna
describe what it is.
It's the movie of he's a young man, and I want to say that he was head of the Black Panther as well. I watch it every time I'm on the plane.
Panther.
No, it's not. It's not Panther. They killed him at the very end. He's sleeping in the bed, and they're all in the house.
Not for my Fred Hampton. He was a Panther.
Hampton.
Oh, you talking about Black Messiah?
Listen.
Yeah.
That's the end of the interview.
Right.
Listen. That story.
Yeah.
He was so young.
Yeah.
So powerful.
Fiery, yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so politically street, right? With knowledge, dangerous. Dangerous. I believe it's very important what you're doing, because you're saying, not only was I not prepared to go to college, I went to college, I did that, came out, I ran, I put myself from the streets into the politics, merging them together. So let's talk about your works and your great deeds that you're doing, because you're doing the footwork. You're in the streets. So let's talk about things that you're doing in the community right now, because you're really big on that.
I am, because to me, like I say, when you take care of the community's going to take care of you.
Thanks.
So shout out to my team. We call ourselves One Love. We have 3 different organizations that come together and we do things in the community. So Ms. Gwendolyn Jackson with the Royal Jackson Outreach Community Center, that was the person who actually got the truck together. I was just the muscle that night, you know what I mean? So she did that, man. This lady is battling stage 4 cancer. You hear me? Stage 4 cancer, and still thought enough to help people that was abroad in Louisiana, right? So Gwendolyn Jackson, Mr. Tony Garrett, he's over a organization called the Children of Incarcerated Alliance or whatnot. And so what it is, he helps kids whose parents are incarcerated or whatnot. And so him, and we have another young lady named Laverne Sampson or whatnot. So we all came together. We all get behind certain projects, and we just help each other out. So I do a tree lighting every year in the community called, my organization is called Gift from the Heart. So we just help each other out. So when Tony does his thing, we all just help Tony out. He's the front runner. When Gwendolyn does something, we help her out. When I do something, they help me out. You know what I mean? And so that's basically what we do. If we unionize in our efforts.
He said something. Union, like bringing everything together. So when you're out in the community, you're in the streets, are you telling people about like politics? Are you telling them about the good part of it? Because we can look at the news all day and find the bad stuff, right? Right. So like, do you find yourself promoting the good more? I know you keep it real, right?
Yeah, I keep it as real as I can. You know what I mean? But you know what? Strangely enough, because I don't really talk about politics when I'm doing community work.
That's it.
Yeah, what I do really is just I cater to a need, and if somebody needs something, then I gave myself this name, the community ambassador.
Yes, you did. Hashtag
community ambassador. So that way,
I love it.
People can come to me for anything, and I want to be able to give. If you want to come to me for a broken toenail, guess what? I'm going to send you to so-and-so, they're going to fix it. If you got this, I'm going to send you there, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm mostly talking about. But when it's time to for people to come in and run for office, then I'll talk about it, you know what I mean? But in the meantime, at the beginning time, I don't really just talk about politics too much. You know what I mean?
love that.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
because that, that's the thing about it. I think, especially for us in our community, it's almost like we good, you know what I'm saying? Because we in the streets, we know how to make it. But if we got the knowledge behind it and learned how to bridge together what we don't know, like you're doing, guys, I want you to be really, really, really clear to what's happening. Like, you get knowledge of. It's not all about talking all the time. It's about unifying. And everything you do, you're unifying something.
Always.
So that also brings me to my next question, Mr. Rock. We got a chance to go to we got a chance to get a little wine and go down and look at different arts from artists and stuff. Let's talk about that, because you're bridging together so many different things, and you're bringing in creatives. So let's talk about that. Your outreach to creators and artists. Let's talk about it.
So at Prairie View, I was dating a young lady. She was an art major, right?
Okay.
And so oddly enough, I wasn't really into art at the time.
Tell the truth.
Right. But what happened was, it was some guys that she said they kept trying to holler at her, right? So I'm 18 years old. I'm like, hey, let me go ahead and show them what time it is. You know what I'm saying? So, but strangely enough, them guys, I became like a honorary art major. You know what I mean? Even though I wasn't in class. So anyway.
Come on now.
20 years later, I've always had a love for art. I have like statues and stuff in my house, in my room, stuff like that. So, because to me, artwork art is who we are. You know what I mean? And so when you think about our history, from the pyramid walls until now,
talk about it.
It's talking about us. You know what I'm saying? It's giving us our history of who we are. Yeah. So even now, I was like, you know what? When I created, this coffee shop, Star King Cafe. That's a plug.
Come on.
I decided that I wanted to make sure that when people come in there, they get an experience of who we are.
Right.
No shade against anybody other companies, but to me, we can cater to us better than anybody else can.
Yeah.
So that's where the artwork. I love art, so I put coffee, pastries, and artwork together, because I feel like when you come in here, you're gonna feel good. You're gonna get this nice coffee from Ethiopia, some nice pastries. We all love sweets. And then you're gonna get visual fed as well.
Yes.
So that's where it came from.
I love that. And so, tell the people again the name of your coffee shop, because the man got the fingers for the. I'm telling you, you got the touch. You got the coffee touch.
It's called Star King Cafe, and really, where the coffee came from, I was in Ethiopia in 2016.
Okay.
And I just got off the plane. I was tired, and I was like, well, you know what? I had saw some of my tour members going across the street, and so I said, let me go ahead and see what they're doing. So I walked in there, and as soon as I was open that door, that coffee just hit me. I'm like, dang, what is that? So lady with broken English, she said, hey, you want coffee? I was like, no, I'm okay. And so my guy was like, hey, no, Rob, you need to try it. So I was like, oh, so anyway, the coffee cup was about maybe this big, about that deep, and I put a couple of spoons of sugar in there, and I was hooked.
That was it. Coffee from Ethiopia. Change your life.
Had to bring it back.
And it's right here, y'all. It's here. It's here at the coffee shop. So you gotta come through.
Come through, yeah.
I love that, because have you ever read the book? The Alchemist?
I have not. People be telling me about that.
Listen.
Yeah.
you gotta definitely check into that, because it's really, really, really good. And it talks about like traveling the world and bridging things together and literally helping people even when you don't have money, where there's no money involved.
Man, I can tell you some stories.
See what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? So he was really politically street too.
Yeah.
Because he was like, it's all about making things happen when you don't always have the finances.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about influences, because I know you named a couple of people that played a major part in your earlier years, but something has to keep you going today. So who influences you today?
Wow, I'm trying to say without tearing up. Give me a second.
Take your time, please.
My mom. Yeah, she excuse me. She had breast cancer. She fought for 20 years, and just to see her strength, having like 2 and 3 jobs at a time. She basically put it on my shoulders. Yeah. But anyway, my mom. Of course, we have. I follow the Black Panthers. Of course, Malcolm X, Martin King Jr., Fred Hampton. Of course, my professor, Dr. Opadeli. My mentors, from Judon Boney to guys in the community that Acres Home, people who just they might not know they're my mentors, but I've just adopted them as my mentors.
That's
you know what I
it.
mean? So, but yeah, man, but mainly my mom. Yeah, I say because she's not here physically, but spiritually she's here. I still put her presence all the time, and so, it's.
Rob, let me tell you something. One thing I know about mamas.
Yeah.
My mom transitioned last year as well,
Wow,
and I wear her with me everywhere I go. And what I've learned is that, like, I already know my mama and your mama, they sitting up talking right now, like, look at them, just
right.
look, boy, suck it up, let's go, let's get this. Listen, and my mama just giving the high five, slap, fist bumps, all that. That's what it's about. When your ancestors transition, they leave us with something.
That's right.
They leave us with assignments. Whatever they didn't finish is up to us to make it happen, right? And whatever that looks like along the way, we just make it happen.
Right.
Period.
Right.
Sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing. Sometimes I'm looking at Mr. Rob like, could you just fix me some coffee so I can think for 5 minutes and get it together? So influences are so amazing, and I just want to say thank you to your mom for everything she's instilled into you. And still instilling in you, because it's not over.
It ain't over, right?
Oh, come on, let's talk about it, Mr. Rob. Now, what I like about your community outreach is always that you bring people in and then you walk out, because you know the job is already done. Because you don't bring people into a room that you don't know that's not going to handle their business, right? So, for example, you introduced us to a guest that we're going to have soon. His name is J-No.
Shout out to J-No.
Yeah, shout out. J-No going to be in the building. And he is an amazing young brother. Just strong and powerful. And so, again, you introduced us, and we started talking about, like, different content and making a difference in the world, and just putting out a message without having to go all over the place.
Right.
So tell me, what makes you reach out to the young brothers and sisters that are coming, that's coming behind you?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Great question. So as an old African proverb says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together, take people with you. So that's what I live by, because to me, I met J-No actually on the Instagram. I met J-No on Instagram about maybe 2013, 14, from another young lady who I don't even know what happened to her. We still trying to figure out where she went, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And so, but I know that, so when I ran for office, what I noticed was, even before I ran for office, I got involved in the community, and I think an organization called Super Neighborhood.
Okay.
Super Neighborhood is an organization that's in every community, from white to black, Hispanic, whatever it is. It's like 80 of them here. So Acres Home has one, Fifth Ward has one, Greenspoint has one. They all, anyway, so I was involved in Super Neighborhood, and I noticed that there were no youth there. So I'm like, where everybody at? You know what I mean? So I noticed there was a disconnect between the baby boomers Generation X, Millennials, and then Generation Z.
I can come over there and hug you.
Right.
Go ahead. Please talk about it.
Right. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm connecting I'm being that bridge in between. That was the bridge that was broken down. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it does.
So that's all I'm doing for. You know what I mean? So for how long, only God knows. You know
For
what
sure.
I mean? So I can tell you the stories. I really shouldn't be here. You know what I mean? Just by certain things that's happened to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but I'm here for a purpose.
We were just saying that before we started filming and before we got into the interview. I told him, I said, you know, we're all still here. We're all still here for a reason. Period. You know. So for you to be able to tell your story, for you to be able to help young brothers and sisters and abroad, let's be clear, that there's no limits to anything that you can do when you're bringing people together.
That's right.
It's no limit.
That's right.
It's no limit, and I'm so happy.
Let me ask you a question.
Please.
Do you know what the most what the most feared animal is in Africa?
Oh man, I'm doing some research, but I still don't know.
Just take a wild guess.
I would have to say, in Africa, the elephant.
The ant.
Oh.
It's an ant called Siafu, and the reason why they're so feared is because they're so unified. If they see something that's in their way or something that says it's going to attack them, they move in waves. Everybody goes. There's no deviation. They attack. So when even in villages, if Siafu is there, the village moves.
Wow.
Ant. You hear me?
An ant. I mean, you know, I stepped in the ant bed and everybody just went crazy. I was like, oh, okay, they good. They leaving me alone. But no, in Africa.
In Africa, it's an ant called Siafu. Is one of the main predators out there that the people don't mess with. And
that's what we should. That's what we should. I mean, I think that's a blueprint. Let's follow that.
It is.
We're on Iconix Radio, guys, and you know we're not limited to just independent artists. An icon can be anybody that's making a huge impact and difference in the world, abroad, over and beyond, and that's literally timeless.
Oh wow!
What you're doing is timeless because you're planting the seed. You're giving the information. Whoever seems like they're lacking away, you bring them back in. And
right.
Come on, Mr. Rob. I'm just okay. So let's talk about like your favorite artists, music that you listen to, because music is a big influence on a lot of people. You know, for a lot of people. I know, like my guy Russell Simmons. You know Russell Simmons.
Yeah, I know.
You know Russell Simmons. Now you know he's a yogi and he practices meditations over and beyond, and he's always like around other type of music, but meditation music, right? So he switched up. But back in the day, he was Run D. So let's talk about musical influences that keep you going, or who do you listen to on your downtime?
So you know, one of my favorite movies is I Think I Love My Wife.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Tell the
truth. It's a part in the movie where Kerry Washington is talking to Chris Rock about the music that he listened to.
Right.
And she said he had N-word ears, right? You know what I mean? And so I still have N-word ears. Like but I only listen to, like, I'm still old school. I still listen to Pac, Outkast. I still listen to Jay-Z, pre-Jay-Z, like from 2001 back. You know what I mean?
That's Jay.
Yeah. Sean Carter. You know what I mean? So, let's see, who else I listen to? I still love 8-Ball, MJG.
Come on.
You know, most of that old school stuff. Because to me, even though back then they weren't talking about a whole lot, but it's just the music make you feel different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even UGK, I can't leave out UGK.
Period.
You know,
I love it.
Ghetto Boy, stuff like that. But right now, what I listen to is just strictly pretty much like R&B. I'm a huge New Edition fan.
Come on.
I love
come on.
Raheem Devon, he owned one. You know.
Yes. He's deep.
He is.
People don't really pay attention to Raheem Devon, like his lyrics. You know, he's so cute.
Yeah.
But you know, his music is deep if you really listen to the things that he says, and he loves a black woman, honey.
Man, I'm telling you this: if you haven't seen him in concert, if you don't want to have any more kids, don't go.
Don't go. Okay, honey, you heard that? No Raheem DeVaughn.
Do not go to Raheem DeVaughn concert, man. You go. I'm telling you.
I love it.
You won't make it out the parking lot.
You ain't gonna. Okay, see, stamp that from Mr. Rob. Okay.
Yeah. Raheem DeVaughn, man. Hey. You love me, bro.
Keep it up. I'm catching at the show, the late show. Let me stop. Okay, Mr. Rob. So, I'm having such an amazing time with you, and this has just been so great. You know, I have to let my little hamster run because I got to be careful with you because you know you're so direct, you're so real. But I got to ask you this one. I got to ask this one because. Only a king like you would literally be able to give me just what I'm about to ask you. What mentors do you listen to? What motivational speakers do you listen to? Who do you find yourself listening to? Because I know Sundays are your days off. I found that. that's your rest day. So who prepares you for that? To do what you do, keep you going, and also keep you focused. Because music can't do that all the time.
That's true. No, that's a good question. So, initially, to be real with you, I haven't really listened to a lot of motivational speakers. Okay. I motivate myself. But in order to keep that fire lit, the logs that I throw in there sometimes, like I'm reading a book from Claude Anderson called Powernomics. So I read that one. I've read a book that Nipsey Hussle had referred this one to Charlamagne the God on Breakfast Club. It was called The Way of Superior Man. That was a good one.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, I've been reading so much, man. But really, like I say, I'm motivated by myself. You know, Napoleon Hill.
Yeah.
Dennis Kimbrough, Think Grow Rich and Black Choice. That's a good one.
Right.
But as far as like say listening to people, I just get up and go. You know what I mean? I don't have to, who can I listen to make me get up off my backside?
Nah, that ain't true.
Nah, my mom, I say, if my mom can get up with, you know, cancer, breast cancer, and fight to the end.
Period.
I ain't got no excuses.
Period. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that, and the fact that you know you don't make no excuses. I can tell that you're one of those. You're the man that I don't make any excuses. Yeah. Like why, you know, and everybody that follows you don't make any excuses. So now let's plug in some of these nonprofits a little bit more in depth and politically street, talking about things that because you've brought some people onto your show that watched your show and was influenced by you.
Right.
So, you know, we gotta talk about my girl.
Oh yeah, the Plugs lawyer. Yeah.
The Plugs lawyer from ATL. What's up? Yeah. That's my girl.
Yeah. Shout out to Tiffany M. Simmons. Don't forget the M.
Don't forget the Okay, Tiffany.
Don't forget the M. So the nonprofits, though, we'll start there first. The nonprofits with Gwendolyn Jackson, her dad passed from lung cancer, I think, in 2015. So her mission statement, basically, her drive is helping people who are afflicted with cancer, because cancer is such that disease, man. It really rips you apart. You know what I mean? Financially, spiritually, physically, all that, right? Yeah. So she saw her dad go through it, and so. Once her dad transitioned, she said, let me go back out in the community and help people, as much as she can.
Wow.
And so that's what her thing, that's what she does. Like I said, with Tony Garrett, his foundation is, because he did a stint in prison. So when he got out, he did a stint, so when you're in prison, you can't have really a lot of physical contact with your kids, things like that. And so when he couldn't see his kids, they know what? It's a kid that's going through what my kids what we went through, so I want to help them out.
Okay.
So that's how we all work together, whatnot. And so, but with Politically Street, like I say, shout out to Miss Tiffany M. Simmons, man. I was interviewing. I'm not all the way vegetarian.
Okay.
Right.
We all in works. Okay. We all in the works. Okay. I got 3 days, and then 2 days is vegan.
Right. But no, but I still eat seafood sparingly, right?
Okay.
So, but there's a guy, shout out to Demetrius Walker. His name is DJ Meek. Met him on Instagram too. He's an average. He's a vegan, and so he created a vegan pizza.
Oh, okay.
Vegan pizza. You hear me?
Fire.
Man,
I'm coming for you because I need that.
Man, I'm trying to tell you. Once you bite into it, you can't even tell, right?
Really? Okay.
So by me, first of all, Meek, he's been 100 with me from day one. He's come on my podcast as well. And so when I saw he opened his own vegan spot, I said, "I'm come out there, bro." I know he couldn't come here because he's working there, but
right.
So I went to him, sat down, we had the interview. He talked about how he got the inspiration to start Meek's Vegan Pizza, and so I put it up on Instagram. The young lady, and the plug's lawyer. Let me give a background about her. So, are you familiar with Country Wayne?
Yeah. Oh, Country Wayne is a mess.
Oh,
He's hilarious. I love
Country
him.
Wayne, man. So, remember that the character Drip that he plays?
Yeah, the rapper, right?
Drip went to jail, and so he got set up by the feds.
Okay.
So when he went to court, the hood lawyer represented him.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I knew. I mean, I didn't know it was her until
right.
the child went on her page and whatnot. So anyway, when I interviewed Meek, she commented, "Hey, nice interview. How can I get on?" I say, "Shoot, say less. You come to Houston. It's going down, right?"
Right.
So she inboxed and said, "Hey, I'll be here in Houston in August," and she came down, and man, we shot an episode, man. Real down to earth sister, man. Real and deep, man. Her story was like, you know what I'm saying? And this may sound crazy from 5 minutes ago.
Do tell.
I'm not really an emotional person. You
right.
know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
But to tell her story, I was like, and just looking at her like, wow, and she carried it well. You know what I'm saying? So so.
You know, I ain't gonna over exaggerate. I'm gonna be real and real vulnerable, and I'm gonna get in trouble later, but that's fine.
Uh-oh.
But listen, I was looking at her on Instagram because I was looking for lawyers for some crazy stuff that was happening back in the day, and I found her, and I was like, man, she different.
Yeah.
She's like super different, and she was like the hood lawyer, and I'm like, how could you put this together?
Right,
like, what is happening? And then she would get on and talk about, but her lingo was totally relatable. And she was like, call me if you need this. And she was going in, case closed, won that case, I'm like, this girl is
Has not lost the case.
Do you hear me? I was like, and then her brand just has taken off. So congratulations to you, Queen. Keep it up. We definitely would love to see you here on Iconix Radio, girl, because you are phenomenal. Like, I just want to say that.
I think she's doing some it's called that when you do special showings and whatnot.
Okay.
So I know she want to come back to Houston, but I don't know when. But when she does come back, I'll make sure and bring her on.
Yeah.
And come
See, the ambassador and did it again.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna get ready to wrap it up because we have had an amazing time here, and I think we even went over like 5 minutes, but I love it though. I'm here for it, y'all. So let's get ready to close it down, and let's talk about like where can people find you, and let us know.
So first off, I can be found on Instagram at Prairie Street. Also, I'm on YouTube at Prairie Street. Find me there. Make sure and subscribe, y'all. You know,
please,
try to get my subscribers up. Yeah, and it's free. I didn't know people thought it cost money to subscribe on YouTube.
My grandmother did.
Right. So
I'm sorry, Mom.
Yeah. Also, I have a website, Polygastreet.org, where I have these nice T-shirts.
Come on.
If you follow the movement, get you a T-shirt. And if you don't want to buy a T-shirt, the donate button is on there. Man, shoot your boy a hot 5 or 10 or something like
there
that.
You go.
You know what I mean? So every little bit helps. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
for a good cause too.
For a good cause, yeah. I'm not just I do want to out it, but that's not gonna go towards it, right? You know?
I love it. All right.
Right. But also look up Star King Cafe on Instagram as well. You know, so y'all come out and get some nice Ethiopian coffee and some pastries and enjoy the experience.
And listen, I'm gonna wipe my eye on this one. The caramel is bomb. The man got the hands to make the caramel coffee. I'm just letting you know. Okay.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice blend. You know, it's like I said, I want everybody to experience what I experienced. Because everybody not going to go to Ethiopia. It is what it is.
Do you know that I just want to say this. I did not know that was Ethiopian coffee. But
wow. I didn't tell
you. No, I was like, this is so good. He was like, do I need to do something else? No. Don't touch it. It's perfect.
I was like, give you some sugar and stuff like that. Yeah. Wow.
So, Star King Coffee, Politically Street, the nonprofit organizations you have, your backstory, your beautiful queen mother, your ancestor now. Like, the plugs, listen, you are a walking icon. And it doesn't stop here. It's all you have to do is just keep going, because just like so many people that weren't prepared and you brought them in and prepared them, whether they was prepared or not, they're making a difference.
Wow.
You know, I just believe in, you know, the give your roses. Man, smell your roses. Right. You ain't got to wait for nobody to give them to you. Smell them. Because here you go. Right?
Thank you.
No, my pleasure. Mr. Rob has been here. He's changed our lives today, guys. Iconix Radio. It's your girl, MiChel Rose. Is there anything else you want to tell the people?
Man, y'all just get out there and get involved. You know what I mean? We can do more together than we can apart. You know what I'm saying? So just find something to get behind, and let's unify. We already see how it is not to work together. Let's see how it is.
Don't forget about the ant. I can't remember what's the name of the ant, but
Siafu.
The Siafu ant. Google it, and let's practice the same blueprint that they doing, y'all. It's your girl, MiChel Rose, Iconix Radio. Smooches and roses, we out.